Well, yesterday we talked on the show about the fact that Joe Biden, when he withheld the $1 billion loan guarantee to fire Viktor Shokin, the Ukrainian prosecutor investigating his son, he was not following U.S. policy, contrary to what he told people in 2019 during the impeachment and in 2020 during the election. He actually was told to give the $1 billion and that Viktor Shokin was making good progress on anti-corruption policy from the career officials at the state, treasury, and justice departments. He didn't follow that recommendation. He did the opposite, and then he lied about it to the American people. Today, what we did is we put together a timeline to say, in the time where Joe Biden decided to flip that policy, to withhold the $1 billion rather than give it, and to get rid of the prosecutor who his own team was saying was doing a pretty good job, what was going on in Hunter Biden's life? Well, what we found out was that Hunter Biden was under enormous pressure at that very moment to deal with Viktor Shokin, because Shokin was accelerating an investigation against Burisma. He was going after Hunter Biden's boss at Burisma, Nikolai Zolchevsky. They were about to seize his assets. Hunter Biden was told, I got to get on that phone with your dad. Burisma wanted to talk to his father. Hunter Biden met with one of Joe Biden's closest advisors, Amos Hochstein. Hochstein has a conversation with the president about, vice president, about Burisma. And lo and behold, while all this is going on, now two news organizations come along, the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times. They're going to write stories saying Hunter Biden is on the board of a company that's being investigated by Viktor Shokin. The Biden vice presidential office, Hunter Biden's team start coordinating their messages. Joe Biden knows that Hunter Biden has a Viktor Shokin problem. And it's in that moment, in that timeline where the two Bidens are both pursuing the same agenda, that Joe Biden flips the policy and gets rid of the prosecutor that's causing his son's company so much trouble. That is a timeline that's never before been constructed. There's lots of new documents. Joe Biden's story from impeachment and the election of 2020, no longer true. We can prove it without doubt with these documents. Yeah, listen, I've talked to a lot of members of Congress in the last 24 hours. They're all dialed in. They understand the importance of these documents. They get it. It matches a lot of the things that they're gathering, like the FD 1023 that Grassley and Comer got, the testimony of Archer, the IRS whistleblowers. Next week, we've got a new whistleblower we're going to make public to the American people. Goes back to 2016. People were blowing the whistle on Hunter Biden all the way back in 2016. All that evidence, when you put it together, is going to go into that stew pot, and it's going to be up to Kevin McCarthy to say, here's how we deal with it. I think the most likely scenario is that they do begin an impeachment inquiry to get the rest of the facts. I mean, the big outstanding question is, how much money did Joe Biden get out of this? Everything else we now know. He was helping his son. His son had lots of money. There's some commingling of their finances. How much did Joe Biden personally profit? That's the remaining question I think American people need to know before they move to impeachment. The impeachment inquiry, the committee, could get the answers through subpoenas and bank records and phone records. We'd know a lot more in a very short period of time.